All right, hello, 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 and welcome to Ixion. Let's do this. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. As you can see, I'm finally in my, well, I'm in my regular streaming location. For this stream, got a couple more mobile stream stations to go, but it'll all be good. But for this one, we're starting a new series, as you can see in Ixion. Decided I started this. Well, I didn't start this, but I did an Ixion stream a few weeks ago now. At this point, it was kind of fun. Ixion is just a personal favorite of mine. I absolutely love this game, and it recently launched for console. And so it it's getting some much deserved new attention. So I thought it'd be a good time to go back to it. I completed the story mode on this back when I first got it. And I've attempted the challenge mode quite a few times, but as I've mentioned before on stream, I never quite finished it, because I seem to only be able to finish runs when I'm streaming, and so I really want to finish the challenge mode. And so I thought, well, good time to do it, or to stream it. So is my mic just like blaring here? There we go. So we're gonna do the challenge mode. Actually, we can start. Yeah, new game. So we'll do the challenge mode. You can see what that entails, and then, without any giving away any spoilers, there is an alternate ending to the game. So we're gonna aim for that alternate ending. I won't say much more about it because you don't want any spoilers. Anybody, I guess this is one of those things where if you don't want a spoiler to this game, this stream is probably not for you, because this game does not have a sandbox mode. So the only way to play is to go through the story. All right, so let me do my usual thing here. Let me make sure the sound's working. The story. Hey, there I am. Hello, me. Usual thing here. Let me make sure the sound's working. Hey, there I am. Hello, me. All right. I'll always want to say hi to myself, because I deserve a hello. Always want to say hi to myself. Oh, I almost got a second hello there. All right, so let's get it started. Oop. Challenge mode. Launch game. So I won't talk through the opening cinematic scene here. Or at least I'll try not to. And then there's one more at the end of the prologue, which is very important, which I'll try not to talk over. But let's do this. The game looks beautiful, as always. Dolos AEC European Spaceport, Norway, July 13th, 2049. Initiate Stanford protocol. It's so funny how these like names and stuff it's said in the beginning mean nothing to you when you first play it, and then after you start hearing some of these names and stuff, you're like, oh, that thing. Oh, private space enterprises. This game is just a glowing endorsement of them. At least this one isn't about space tourism, unlike some. There is another one. This is probably more like not any better. Alright, here we go. This is one of those games too where there's so few cinematic scenes that I feel like you just gotta play it. So how often do you get to look at it? There's our ship, the Tycoon. So I'm going to go over a little bit of the, here I am, I said I wasn't going to talk through the opening scene. A little bit of starting steps for the first sector. Because there's an ideal build for that sector. There's also going to be a bunch of dialogue at the beginning here. I'll try not to talk over most of it. It's interesting stuff, though not integral to like understanding the game, but it's fun. It's good stuff. It's characters that will be mentioned throughout it. But here we go. Here's our build. So
is now docked.
Never talk over Eden.
Sector 1 empowered and pressurized. Munchie decontamination protocol online.
Alright. So part of the challenge of this game is you have limited build space. You have 6 of these sectors, though it has some cost to opening them, so you want to utilize as few sectors as possible. Eventually, you know, by the time you get to the end of the game, you should have all 6 sectors open. But you want to utilize as much space as possible before you have to open a new one. Alright. So, something very important when building here, you want to get rid of those 2. Or no, actually these 4. If you build your workshop right here, and you can, and then if you build your workshop right here and then build the road straight across this way, eventually you'll be able to put another docking bay here and fit a whole bunch of what do they call it? Stockpiles on this wall without wasting any space, which is very important. Here I said don't talk over Eden, just blabbing all over her. So put that there. Put this road here. Oh, this guy, Mr. Choose a lot.
I wanted to introduce you to your
Alright, so first one is alloys. So we start collecting those. So we want to collect starting here, going down this way, because this can only hold 100 to start with, and we don't want it to get, you know, full to the point where this stuff is in the way of where we want to build, and then we have the problem of like we can't get rid of this stuff because it can't go there.
You will then oversee the installation of the Vol engine and perform a short test jump to Proxima Centauri. Upon arrival, your research teams will carry out a brief survey of local space, gather a few rock and coal dust samples, fire up
now, good thing is
begin building the foundations for mankind's future, yada yada yada. And then
the roads don't cost anything, so we can just like build these.
In order to achieve this,
and another good thing about the game is when you demolish buildings, you get the full cost of their building costs back, which is important because part of the game design is that you're going to be tearing things down and putting new things in and all that stuff. So this will, in Sector 1, this will be our stockpile section. Over here, going down this way, is going to be all housing.
Keep track of your main objectives. Oh, and Administrator, don't let the position go to your head.
Oh yeah, we need another stockpile.
On the Tycoon. But this
actually, we need 2 of them.
Just in preparation for our next project, the Protagoras.
So this will be food, and then this will be polymers.
So toe the line, do as you're told, and bring the Tycoon
but let's collect all these resources.
Gestures and saving of mankind from ecosystemic destruction.
We can build our first
one last word of advice.
Hospital right here.
Like
and we can, so, we're also going to get rid of these 2 right here. We're going to build a road going this way. This is because of eventually we're going to get something called cell housing that'll put housing on the wall, and from here to this wall is the exact amount that we need.
Administrator, Mr. Dolos has made it abundantly clear when it comes to security.
So let's
Given the
start building
importance of
these.
the tycoon, we must have
This will
full
be
control
food.
over what is happening inside the station.
And now we can
My
collect
name
some
is Emma
food.
Crane, Dolos's lead data scientist and member of the Marduk Council. My department have just completed final synchronization between
and now we can get
in
rid
and
of
treatment
these
room.
roads
The
since we've
DLS.
collected.
The DLS, or
Oh.
data listening system,
And we were
is
dumb
capable of
and
scanning,
didn't complete
recording, and parsing
the-
exchanges of any
the road.
kind. The DLS programming
Oh,
that is
that's
a
part-
part
yeah.
of Eden will filter all
There we
data
go.
collected
Collect
and bring
that.
to your attention
And we're
only
gonna
the most
build
relevant information. It will
cargo
also
ship,
provide you with a condensed overview
because
of
we
any
can
situations
start
that may
collecting
arise
food
and
on
formulate
the
potential future
Urshanabi
outcomes.
here.
It will permit you to give direct orders without having to go through additional unnecessary paperwork. Eden will then take care of everything via their DLS accreditation, as is often the case with tools produced by my department. I think you'll find that once you start using the DLS, you'll never be able to do without it. Oh, and before I let you go ahead and start writing history, Dr. Munshi, our lead medical expert,
and
wanted
we
me
gotta
to bring
connect
to your attention a possible side effect of roll jumping.
this road.
Whilst there's a correlation between
While we're at it,
prolonged
just
space
connect the
travel and
rest of
development
these.
early onset dementia. He believes that a roll jump has the potential to accelerate this process, although this is yet to be proven. His recommendation is for you to immediately send any
Alright.
crew members that are exhibiting uncharacteristic or symptomatic
actually, no,
behavior
let's
to an
stop
infirmary,
harvesting that.
as these facilities are
Oh,
equipped
and then
to
so
treat
this
the
is a
mind
road we're
as well as
actually
the
going to
body.
keep. So we
Remember
can
that
build
all
that
of
down
your
there.
actions and choices are being
Part of
recorded by
the
Eden.
road
We are
system
not
is
affiliated with any
having an
national or even
efficient
international organization.
route for these little
The only
guys to move
people that you are
around.
answerable to are those of us who sit on the Marduk
We'll do
Council,
that
who
one.
represent the collective interests and ambitions of the company.
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
Alright, Administrator. Tycoon members are currently unable to access food supplies. Nyakan protocols direct the construction of a mess hall. This building is designed to distribute food from our stockpiles to the crew. Guaranteeing access to food supplies would reaffirm your competency as an administrator. Will do, people, will do, because that is the next thing we want to do. Build this mess hall so that people can eat. So you want to accumulate the amount of food needed here. Well, it'll show you once you do there. And then eventually there'll be a meal cycle, so you need to have accumulated the amount of food needed for a meal cycle by the time you reach the meal cycle. Otherwise, people start starving and they get hungry. I guess the people on this station are like, I don't know, something like like snakes or something like that, where they only eat like once every 4 days or something like that. I don't know. All right. So now we're not collecting this right now because we don't need it yet. So we want to next complete this road so that we can collect these, because we want to put the tech station down next. Then we start collecting these. Then we collect this, and then we start collecting these here, and that'll give us an efficient collection so that this doesn't get bunched up. Oh, though I suppose, yeah, I guess we're at a point right now where we just need some. I don't know, they should be building roads. Oh, yeah, they're building these houses, which is good. You know, we need houses, so we have 84 people we got housed. So that's good. Righty. Let's build that up. What's next? What can we build? So, okay, well, wait. So once they get this road done, we can delete this road and put the blueprint down for our next docking bay, which is a nice little mechanic in this game. We can put buildings down but not start building them, so that we can kind of start mapping out the layout here. Alright, let's speed this up a little bit. Alright, so now we can collect that. We can collect these. Let's get these out of the way. Oh, we can collect this too. So once we get the cargo ship, we'll build a science ship. Those are the only two we're going to need in the prologue here. So let's also add in a science ship. Oh, okay, there we go. So now we can get our tech lab.
Administrator, I have an incoming transmission from Marduk Council member Henry Bargeville.
Oh yeah, the most French man that ever did French.
Bonjour, Administrator.
There you go.
What a wonderful day to embrace our fate, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
I'm Henri Bargeville, writer, philosopher, lobbyist, but most of all member of the Marduk Council. I have taken the liberty of personally arranging an exchange out of courtesy with the Oceanabe, a ship
Yeah, so
in
building
high
this should
orbit
pretty much
belonging
take
to one of
these.
our commercial allies, the
Oh yeah,
Ashton
we have
Guys.
this road now.
Even
So
they are a small organization.
we're
The
going to want to
Ashton
put
Guys are
another
important partners who
document
share the
here,
same
right? Let's map
pragmatic,
it out.
moralistic, and
4,
spiritual
2, 3.
outlook
Yeah,
as we do.
exactly.
The
That's what we want.
Oceanabe will provide us with a source
So-
of food while carrying out the Tycoon's initial testing.
Oops, no, we want
By
to delete
making it
roads,
the
not
first
build them.
exclusive trade partner of the Tycoon,
let's-
we will demonstrate to our long-term allies that Dolos wishes for them to share in our success.
And then before we connect the road, we'll
Please assign
pause.
cargo ships so that we can check the trade routines.
And now this will be the
Administrator,
actual road
Trust in
that we
genetic
keep here.
genetics. Self-similar space will reveal the pattern.
Close transmission. Okay. There we go. This road will eventually go away. But we can keep it for now. So this is what I was talking about before. By deleting the road here and starting at that spot, eventually we'll be able to build 2 whole stockpiles right there. And so we've now utilized all of that space without eliminating one. We have closed off this entrance to the eventual Sector 2, but we have 2 here, so, you know, give and take, give and take. Administrator, some crew members are lacking quarters. Yeah. During human history, oh boy, unnecessary homelessness has always been an indicator of civilizational decay. Do not reproduce humanity's basic mistakes aboard the Tycoon. Yeah, we will. We'll ensure everybody has a house. In fact, that'll be... Oh, actually, no. First things first. We'll put everything on there to start. But the only thing we're going to get in this prologue is food. But we do need that food. So the Winfar. Okay. So let's build some houses. And then we can start building a road down this way, because this is one we're actually going to keep. So let's see. So we have 19 that aren't housed. Yeah, so these 2 will be all we need for now. We will get more people in this prologue, but for now, that's all we need. Let's see. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're collecting this. That's good. We can start collecting that. I did say we were going to go for these first, but I forgot. We do want to collect this one right here, because first thing we want to research is the insect farm and put that there so that we can start collecting as much food as possible before we finish the prologue and go to chapter 1. Look, we're already getting more food from the Oceanabe. Alright. Excellent. Everything's going according to plan. Oh, I always forget. Alright, let's speed up. And actually, I'm wrong. The first thing we're researching is not the insect farm. We're going to need the EVA airlock. Yeah, we'll start with that. And now we have our science ship, the Darwin. So let's head over to the moon. It's going to get there very quickly. But even though, let's just speed it up.
A science ship has arrived
All
at
right.
its destination.
Summary of intelligence on the abandoned base. The base is out of commission. Auxiliary systems are operational and could be used to restore power. Transmission from the Darwin's team. We have reached the UN base. It is abandoned and depressurized. The surveillance system is still operational, awaiting orders. Exploit the security vulnerability. Alright. So now we can just start collecting all these resources. Alright, let's speed it up. I suppose for now too, we can go ahead and build these, but we'll have them start off as being powered off. But eventually, you know, we're gonna use them.
A science ship team has completed a task.
All right, we hacked into the main computer systems as you ordered and retrieved several relevant research papers and data sets. So we got 10 research points. Excellent. Now dismantle that base. Also, you always have to appreciate this, like, Tycoon exterior view. Like, it just always looks amazing. There's Earth. Aww. What's great is, yeah, it does rotate, so the view will change. So there's... Where are we at there? Is that South America? Or is that... no, I think that's India. Yeah, that's India. Yeah, there we are. And then I think we can see the moon in the distance. Sometimes you can. No? Okay. Well, no. Eventually you will. Alright. This one, we know what it will be. It's going to be electronics, so we can do that for now, but we don't have any electronics, so who needs it? We can, since we have downtime here, we can get a head start on some more houses. Because we are going to get some more people at some point. Oh yeah. And let's pause on that one. So I want to collect this 50 to get it out of the way of this road. And we can complete the next road. We're going to do the same thing down here. So we can put some cell housing down there eventually. And so this whole thing is enough space to fit housing. So it creates a little housing, an efficiently built housing sector without wasting any spots and leaving the building area open for everything else. The base has been dismantled. Although most equipment was damaged, we were able to prepare some usable resources for extraction. So 30 alloys, 90 research points. So now the science ship will start collecting the science, and we can actually research the EVA airlock. So we'll do EVA airlock, then we'll do probe launcher, and then insect farm. All good stuff, all good stuff. Get rid of this superfluous road. I think it should be my band name. Superfluous Road. Wouldn't be a good band. But it would be a band name. Let's see. Yeah, so let's speed it up because we can't really do much until we get this research done. So here is our power. So we can have a total of 60 power used. We're using 54. We have 6 available. Once we get the EVA airlock, we can upgrade the solar panels, get more power. Which is why we want to do that first. Excellent. All right, so now get us our probe launcher. Alright, so here's the thing, just to make things tidy. Yeah. I always like to do probe launcher here, because we're eventually going to do 2 EVA airlocks, so I like to put them next to each other, but I didn't collect this one first, so whatever. This doesn't actually matter, so we'll do that there. But let's build this. And then this will be the actual road we keep, and then we can get rid of this.
From Dolus's head of medicine, Dr. Abhinav Munshi.
Greetings, Administrator.
Go for it, buddy.
I'm Dr. Abhinav Munshi, Dolo's expert in compartmentalism and medicine, and a member of the Marduk Council.
Oh, okay, you're
I'm glad
done.
to finally meet you.
So why don't you head over to Mars?
Your psychological test results were quite impressive.
I know.
My friend and colleague,
My
Phil
psychological
Stanford,
test
couldn't be
results
here
are
today.
always impressive.
So I will take the role of introducing you to the final stages of the Vol engine integration. Before we get into that, however, we would like you to complete the testing station's exploration and enhancement capabilities. You'll then be able to begin researching the EVA airlock and assess its compatibility with
we can we?
core systems. I hope that the work of our team will ensure that you are equipped to deal with most
Nobody
situations
appreciates
you
when you're
encounter
ahead
up
of
there.
schedule.
Before I leave you, Stanford would like me to remind you that space is a far less fanciful and forgiving environment than science fiction would have us believe. It would be wise to remember that.
Yeah. Science fiction be damned. Okay. Oh yeah, well I guess we haven't technically built the EVA airlock yet. We're still in the process of building it. Alright, so once we get the probe launcher, we can put that here. So let's start collecting this. So this is what I was talking about at the beginning. We won't be able to build the probe launcher until we get this stuff out of the way. I can actually get rid of this road. Alright. So let's speed up. Ah, excellent. Probe launcher is good. Now we want the insect farm so that we can start making our own food. So let's speed it up.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Yay, it arrived. Okay, so let's go to Mars here. The UN has established a facility on Mars. Its crew are currently lacking the materials required to repair a critical fault in their oxygen supply system. They've submitted an official request to Dolos for aid. So we could get resources if we give them 20 alloys. We get research data. Alloys are just so needed. So are resources. This is one of those ones at the beginning here that doesn't really matter which way you go. Let's get the research points. So we select our cargo ship. It's going to collect. It's going to come back. Or not come back. It's probably here already. Yeah. So we load up the docking bay with the resources we need. The Winfar will come and collect it and then head over there. Meal cycle, everyone's fed. Yay. Alright, and there's the Winfar. Goodbye, little buddy. Yeah, so collect all this stuff. Alright. And now, oh, nope, one more. Okay, and now we can build. So get your little buildy robot over there. There he is. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Get that built up. What's our housing capacity now? Alright, yeah, so we should be good there. So now we need these things to get collected so we can put the drone hub here. Or the probe launcher, I mean. Drone hub. That's the other game I usually play on Wednesday afternoons. Surviving Mars.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Alright, the oxygen supply system has been repaired, and the relationship between Dolos and our competitor has improved by 42%. Oh, yay, 42%. Alright, collect that science. And then when you're done, you're going to head over to Saturn. Alright, so let's speed it, or let's slow it down for a second. So, insect farm is done. Next, we want to do the steel mill. This is probably the last thing we're going to be able to research here. Uh-oh. Whoops, 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 whoops. I forgot about that. Let's turn this off for a second. So that's what happens when power overloads. The administrator reports are being received relating to Barjaville Clane optimization protocols on board the Tycoon. They indicate that crew members are being overworked. Although Dolos employment contracts make it clear that a high degree of flexibility is required, this situation is beginning to take its toll on morale. It would be pragmatic to deploy additional crew members or reduce the number of concurrently active workplaces. No, we're going to take more people. You always want more people. More mouths to feed, but also more people to work. So there's our probe launcher. Yeah. I know, guys. Alright. So we need 12 energy points in order to do that. So let's just turn some things off. We can actually turn that off. Yeah. And now we can turn this on. We're not going to finish steel mill, so we'll turn this on when we can, but we want to get this working so that we can build our first solar panel extender. So you can see it right here. It's going to build that there. So you guys do that. And let's get our probe launcher built. Oh. And now our science ship is done, so you can head over to Saturn. Oh, you know, let's save. Let's save. A new save. Stream. Prologue. The way I save, I like to save them differently once we get to each chapter, just in case, just in cases. All right, so now we're getting that solar panel upgrade, and then our number of energy points will bump up. Oh, and actually, what am I doing? We can build our first insect farm. So we'll do 2. But we'll keep that one off for now, because we want to, you know, see what the situation is when it starts. Oh, and let's continue to collect. Hey, Emperor Renard, good to see you. Welcome, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Yes, the station must survive. Absolutely. So we're, you've seen me stream this one before. This was the Frostpunk in Space game. The one that the devs for this game said Frostpunk was their inspiration for everybody else out there. So I decided to do an actual series on it now. So we just started this one. We're still in the prologue. How have you been? It's good to see you. All right. Okay, so this is building. Speaking of survive, did you see what 11-Bit Studios announced? Yes, I did. Super excited. This Friday, I'll be doing Frostpunk 2 again, but I'll be enabling the free preview of the new content. So this Friday Night Frostpunk this week, I'll be streaming the new content. So that's going to be exciting. And then the new content will be fully available and out the 8th. I believe that's next week. But I'm excited for this Friday to see what that new content looks like. A signature trace from the EKP system has been detected near Saturn. EKP technology is the exclusive property of Dolos, but records indicate that the company has not deployed any missions to this sector. The signature will soon enter the atmosphere of Saturn. So send a team to investigate. Also, yeah, I don't know if I've seen you since the announcement, too, of Frostpunk 1886. So that as well will be very exciting. Yeah, and the remake of the original game, Frostpunk 1886 on Unreal Engine 5. Let's go, baby. Absolutely. I can't wait to see that game on Unreal Engine 5. I'm actually thinking what I want to do is on this Friday Night Frostpunk will be Frostpunk 2, streaming the new content. Well, I'll probably continue Frostpunk 2 on Friday Night Frostpunk, but I want to add in a stream. I want to do a run with the last autumn in Frostpunk 1, like in preparation for 1886. Even though 1886 isn't coming out for like 2 years, I do want to do a run in the last autumn. So I might have an additional stream added into the week at some point in time when I can get that together. Because that'll be fun. But yeah, I'm very excited for all the new Frostpunk stuff. I kind of wish this game would do the same. Release some new stuff. They just recently released this one on console. You can try to get every trophy for 18... Yeah, that's true. Yeah, do my... It's funny because I'm such an achievement hunter in Victoria 3, and I'm like, I need to start doing that in other games. Like, even this game, I should be looking up what some of the achievements are, try to go for them. But yeah, now that when I do the last autumn, try to get all of that stuff before 1886 comes out. But that is definitely some exciting stuff. Oh, you know, we can put a road here, because this is where we're going to keep it, actually. Okay. Now, we have our probe. So there's basically just one thing we can find in the prologue here, but it is very important. So we're going to send the probe out there. We'll let them build up another probe, and then we're kind of done with that thing. What's our population, our workers at? Yeah, so we can afford to turn this guy on. Oh, you know, we can also afford to build another solar panel, just always in preparation. So you basically have 2 solar panel arrays, so we can do the same thing again for the same cost. So you'll see the cost, well, you can't see it now. The cost goes up for each solar panel. My face when I think of the hardest trophies to get, which are on the Fall of Winterhome. Oh, yeah. Man, yeah, the Fall of Winterhome is one that I started that one time, but I started it kind of when I was only prepared for like a casual run. And I was like, oh my god, I gotta really hunker down and do this one. So I never completed the Fall of Winterhome. I never completed the Last Autumn, which is why I want to do the Last Autumn on stream. So maybe I'll do the Last Autumn and then do the Fall of Winterhome. Once summer starts and I have more streaming spots available in my schedule. Alright, we can get rid of this road now. We don't really have to, but we will. Let's collect that. So these 3, eventually we're going to want 5 of these things. So we'll build 2 more here. Actually, we'll probably build 3. Just so we can stay on top of the food that we need, especially since we now have more population. And we have plenty of workers too. Actually, we might, so... But we got to be wary of alloys, because we don't have an unlimited amount in the prologue. But you do want everything ready and prepared for when you go on to Chapter 1. Oh, forgot that this was ready. A prototype rocket sent by the UN seems to use a variation of EKP. We have stripped it down and recovered schematics. Excellent. So get that science. Oh, we never turned... That's why we have so many workers. I never turned my research lab back on. Well, this is probably the last bit of science that we're going to have. And so... once the science is collected, we can probably turn it off. Alright, let's send the Darwin over here now. Alright. Oh, and you know, we're kind of done with the probe launcher for the prologue, so we might as well just turn it off. Save the workers. Alright, let's collect that guy. Oh, another thing we can do here. Oh, I do hope they make 1886 possible to run on my PC, because Frostpunk 2 can't, so I needed to play on someone else's. Oh, really? So, my friend, you have to look up GeForce Now. GeForce Now is such a savior. So you can play, it's cloud gaming, basically. But Frostpunk 2 is on GeForce Now, and you can use GeForce Now for free. So you can run it on anything. I love GeForce Now. I use it sometimes on my Mac. Like, I have a Mac laptop, but a PC desktop. And so you can play Frostpunk 2 on pretty much anything. I had a period of time where my son broke my laptop, and so I was using a very old computer. It was a 2015 MacBook Air. It was just a dog of a computer. But using GeForce Now, I was able to play everything on there. So yeah, you can do Frostpunk 2 on your PC if you use that. It is free. There is like you know, a paid version of it, and so you get benefits if you use the paid one. But you can start out with the free account, see how you like it. But I highly recommend it if that's your situation with your PC. Alright, by proceeding beyond this point, you are breaching the terms of your contract with Dolo's AEC. Further actions can and will result in summary dismissal. So we need this Naomi protocol, because it's going to come in handy. Tycoon Station, this is Marduk Council Member Rabia Nayakand. You are not authorized to interface with Outer Hope. The purpose of this facility is to allow Dolos to continue with the development of its most highly classified projects, far away from the prying eyes of our competitors and the media conglomerates on Earth. Do you not realize that the whole world is watching you at this moment, and that your presence here could jeopardize this entire operation? I will be filing an official complaint with Veneer himself, unless perhaps you can do something for me that may change my mind. Yeah. So send them 30 resources. This is something we absolutely must do. So we will do it. Will it work with just free version? And does the free version have a time limit? Yeah, so it will work with the free version. So you have a time limit. The way it works is the free version, you have an hour time limit. And so basically the idea is you play, and then once you have an hour, basically you save your game. It'll boot you off, but you can get right back on. So you basically just have to reopen the game every hour. And they even tell you that. You're not kind of like gaming their system. Because there's kind of like a line to get back into one of the servers. But I started off with the free account when I first started, just to see what it was like. I ended up loving the service, and so now I pay for it, and you can kind of just get on pretty instantaneously. They bump you to the front of the line when you pay for it, and your time limit goes up. But that's why I say try out the free version, see how you like it, and then if you're liking it, you can pay for it. I think it's definitely worth it. And this is not a paid endorsement. It sounds a lot like it is. It is not. They are not giving me a dime. I'm giving them dimes. All right, EVA airlock. We're gonna need another one eventually. So we're gonna pause construction. But this will kind of give us a placeholder for it here. All right. Oh, also you don't buy the game through them either, which is kind of cool. You connect your game services through it. So like for instance, you connect your Steam account. And so basically, like, you buy the games elsewhere. It's like you buy the game from Steam, and then with your Steam account connected, it will play the game through Steam. Alright. So what are we at here? Can we afford 8 more workers? Because I really want to turn this on. Because I want to have much more food stockpiled here. We're not actually getting as much as I wanted. Alright, so what are we waiting for now? Finish implementing Oh! You know, every prologue, I always seem to forget this. Yeah, so we gotta go out here and start building the Vol engine. So let's start building it. Alright. Thank you, Administrator. Now leave. Rude. I will ensure that Dolos issues a public statement that rationalizes your contract here at the edge of the solar system. I'll placate Veneer for now. But you'll need to explain your actions in due course. You might have heard we're working on the next iteration of the Tycoon, the Protagoras. The Tycoon operation must succeed if we are to achieve our goal of bringing humanity into a new era. Trust in genetic Canatus. Canatus. Self-similar space will reveal the pattern. Yeah. Let's get that stuff. All right. I'm looking into it. Good. Yeah. Do it. It's such a lifesaver when it comes to gaming. All right, so this guy can just return home now. Like, for instance, also what's cool about it is games, like if you have a Mac, like I do, games that are PC only, you can play on your Mac. So for instance, before I built this Windows desktop, I just had a Mac PC. This game right here, Ixion, is Windows only. But so I was able to play this game on my Mac because with GeForce Now, it doesn't matter what operating system the game is and what operating system you have, because you're just streaming it from their computers. So it is a lifesaver. I recommend GeForce Now so much, I swear I should email them and be like, hey, sponsor a stream of mine. I feel like I've sent so many people over to your service. Oh, let's also now turn this on, because we're going to have to store those guys. Oh, you know what? I did make one mistake here. So we are not going to do this. Eventually, we're going to put a second EVA airlock there, but that's not until we open the second sector. We're actually going to build a steel mill here before we open the second sector. And so we're going to keep this open for that. All right. Yeah, so this is why you run out of alloys in this prologue so much. You've got to use 100 to build this engine. And we're basically at a point now where we're not going to be able to get any new alloys. Which is why we're not building the second dock yet. Because we need those alloys for something else. So now we're just waiting for this to build up to finish that thing. So we're starting to... Alright, so we're at a point now where the amount of people we have, we can accumulate more food. We're going to get more people sent to us before the prologue ends. So that's good. So we'll collect this up, and then we can get rid of these roads here. So we're not going to be able to get any more tech in the prologue here. So when we get to Chapter 1, we'll finish building the steel mill, and then we'll build it right here.
Administrator, because of your continued successful management of the Tycoon, Dolos have authorized the dispatch of new crew members and food supplies. Please ensure that they have suitable accommodation once you reach Proxima Centauri.
You would think they should get those accommodations before we reach Proxima Centauri, right? So yeah, we're getting 100 new crew members. So we have housing for 45. So we will build, so we can get 15 for each house. So we need 55 more. So here's 30. And there's 60. So that'll be all the houses we'll need for the rest of the trip. Alright. Let's see, so 30, 60. Are we going to be able to build another one of these? I don't think so. Too bad. Too bad. But we'll have more workers. which is something we're absolutely going to need. Although we are going to have much more of a food demand now that we're getting all these new people. I suppose we can get our next ships done. So the idea here is when we get to Chapter 1, we're going to try to keep just Sector 1 as long as possible before we open Sector 2. The reason for this is the more sectors you open, the more the hull integrity will go down. Hull integrity doesn't go down in the prologue, but once we reach Chapter 1, it'll start going down. The EVA airlock increases the hull integrity using alloys. So before we can really get... We need to get some resources together before we want to open that sector. So we're going to utilize this as much as possible. So this build area right here is just going to be kind of temporary stuff that will eventually get demolished and put into Sector 2. So like the steel mill will go here, and then some various other stuff.
Administrator, the different phases of preparation, calibration, and verification were successfully completed. You must now start the full bonding procedure. Dolos protocols now deem you competent to gather resources, knowledge, and test colonization routines once you reach Proxima Centauri. Before you do so, Vanir Dolos,
Oh boy.
Marduk Council founder and Dolos CEO,
Elon Musk
wants
himself
to talk
here.
to you.
Hello, Administrator. I'm glad to see that you have managed to complete your assignments in preparation for this moment in history.
I bet you are.
You must understand that this is not simply another chapter in humanity's story.
Alright.
The book of our
So
life
once
on
this is
Earth is
done,
over.
we'll have
We
enough
stand
housing.
at its epilogue. It saddens me to think that there are many who have yet to comprehend the reality of our situation.
Mm-hmm.
We've endured endless cycles of war,
This
crisis,
guy loves to hear
famine.
his own voice.
Still, the worst is yet
Says
to
a
come.
guy on stream.
There are others
who's
like
talking,
Dolos
talking.
who have prepared for this outcome, but most of our kind remain sheltered from the horror of the predicament we find ourselves in.
Oh, I know,
This
right?
pale ghost of civilization will wither and die, and with it, the tenets and values of the past. As we prepare to leave this system for the first time, perhaps we must decide which fragments we will pick up and take forward with us. Through Dolos, I am offering mankind an alternative means of survival.
Alright, so we're not... So we don't have enough to build another insect farm, which is fine. Because we also don't want 0 alloys once we get to Chapter 1. We'll need a couple to start with so that we can start building the... or start working on hull
I
integrity.
set about fashioning the ropes and tying the knots that would bind together this magnificent ship. It is true that our time in this world is brief, but at least I can rest assured knowing that my legacy will endure for eons.
Your legacy.
Farewell,
Listen to this
Administrator.
nonsense.
For the few who stand in the light and the many who dwell in the dark, you carry the fate of us all.
That's what I say to myself every morning when I look in the mirror. You carry the fate of us all. It doesn't actually amount to anything, unfortunately. Alright, let's see. Okay, so we gotta move over to the moon. Well, let's see here. So we're about to move on to Chapter 1. So we're at an hour. So I'm gonna take a quick pause, do a very quick bathroom break. And when I come back, we're off to Chapter 1. So, hello, what was that? Very quick 30 seconds. Be right back. Alright, and we're back. Alright, let's do this. So let's move ourselves over to the moon. So this is always a good time to see the exterior of the ship. Look at the Earth looks like there. I always love this view. Hello, Australia. So there's the Earth, heading toward the moon. So there, yep, there we are. There's the Earth in the background. This always looks really cool when you do the exterior shot here. There's the moon. Looking all nice. Appreciate it now. Alright. So we gotta wait till it finishes. Here we are, we're back. Alright, initiate a vol jump. We'll take one more save for the prologue. Alright, so we're about to have another cinematic. There's not a lot of cinematic scenes in this game. In fact, I think there's only this and then like one more at the end. Unless you really count the ones like in between chapters, just watching the ship move. So I'm going to try not to talk through this next cinematic, because it's like the best part of the game. And basically sets up what the actual premise for the rest of this game is going to be. But let's do it. Alright, Vol engine time.
In accordance with Ralph Stanford procedures, all ships must return to the Tycoon before Vol jump initiation.
Yep. It's going to ask us in a moment here. So it's just powering up. And then we're off to Proxima Centauri and back. Alright, commence jump. Here we go. Oh boy. Load up the ships. I haven't mentioned either yet, just the music in this game. I absolutely love the music in this game. Anybody who watches my streams know I always mute the music on all these games. But this music is just so integral to the game itself. I also love this visualization of like faster than light travel. That's one that you see in between each of the chapters. Alright, so this is the part. Try not to talk through this.
The Earth, our home, she is unique.
Listen to Elon wax poetic here.
Held in its bosom are the ingredients of evolution. Beyond raw survival, beyond the safety of comfort, we, humanity, pursue something greater. We have learnt, persevered, shaped our knowledge from that which is found in the furthest realms of science. However, humanity has brought destruction to the earth, polluted its blood, choked its breath. Today we are paying the price for this. We know the taste of a dying world.
I love the,
But the earth is not
I guess
to
you
be
call
our
it the
grave.
cinematography
A
of
mother
this.
does not wish to see her children disappear with her. She wishes to see instead courage in her children, to carry on. Dolos carries this courage.
Yeah, sure.
We have gone further than any nation, moved faster than any corporation, hand in hand with those who, like us, carry that courage. The Tycoon Station is both an epilogue of these endeavors and a prologue to humanity's next steps. Our Council of Scientists leads the vanguard. They know, as do we all, that the survival of humanity now depends on what we glimpse out there in the dark. That we are masters of our own destiny. That we must go as a species
bound together, pushing further into the unknown.
Yep.
We set sail on this new sea because there is hope to be found, horizons to explore, and because our very existence depends on it. I give you the stars. I give you the Vol engine.
I love that. I give you the Vol engine. I would venture to say this guy did not design any part of that engine. I give you the funding to create the Vol engine. And there it is. He blew up the moon.
Full jump complete.
All right.
Running preliminary diagnostics.
That's right.
Several anomalies detected.
Eggman pissed on the moon.
Multiple digital security breaches.
You had one job.
and full
That
jump
job was don't blow up the
routines.
moon.
Full engine critically damaged. Hull integrity compromised.
Funny Sonic Adventure meme.
Analysis
Yeah, right.
confirms discrepancies between the mission clock and the apparent advanced state of the solar system.
We're in the future.
We are receiving no communication signals.
That's
from Earth.
relativity for you.
Likelihood of ongoing survival stands at approximately 7.67%.
Very specific.
Activating Marduk survival protocols. New mission objective established.
Don't die.
Ensure humanity's survival by finding a habitable exoplanet. Urgent issues requiring immediate attention.
Don't die.
Increase food production output.
Also, don't die.
Restore hull integrity.
Alright. Alright, so let's now set up our new save. Stream Chapter 1. Alright. So now we're going to need the probe launcher here. We're going to need a mining ship. Let's see these things. Administrator, you may have noticed that the moon has broken apart. Oh yeah, I noticed. The crew are aware of this, and many rumors are spreading throughout the station. You will have to make an official statement. This is so all of these choices throughout the game always make different consequences. I have found though, this is one of the only ones in the game where it really doesn't matter what you choose here, it's the same thing. Dolos has many enemies. It's always the trust penalty of negative 7.5%. Administrator, the crew are asking a lot of questions about the state of the Earth. Munchie behavioral algorithms predict a decrease in productivity of 22% if those questions go unanswered. As administrator of the Tycoon Station, you should find some answers quickly. Yeah. So let's go to the Earth. Also, so we can take a look at the external view here. Oh, look at the poor moon. Poor Luna. And then the Earth. No more water.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Alright. No signals have been received from Earth. The oceans seem to have evaporated, and the surface temperature has risen significantly since the Tycoon was last in orbit. Atmospheric readings indicate the presence of strong dust storms and dangerously high levels of carbon dioxide, radiation, and microplastics. The blue planet will never again deserve its name. So we're going to go through all of these. So we'll start with investigate Dolos headquarters. All right. Oh, Administrator. Do you hear us, Administrator? Administrator, hear your people. Our children are starving, Administrator. Oh, that voice that haunts me. Steward. Administrator. Okay, so we need to find... Oops, what am I doing here? We'll send a probe out to start collecting iron. So that's going to be the first thing we need. Turn this on, turn it to iron. Because iron's going to be the input for our steel mill. Steel mills will give us alloys. So we got to get the research done. We're about to get a bunch of alloys to collect from Earth and research that'll kind of give us a boost to start this chapter. But once we start, we can start collecting the iron sooner rather than later. All right, the converted oil rig which Dolos used as its state-of-the-art headquarters is gone. Only a few metal scraps remain, scattered across an expanse of dusty, cracked earth. There are no signs of survivors. All right, investigate personnel location.
A probe has completed its scan.
Now, we really do need to prioritize stuff here. So with the actual resources to be collected first. Once we get... Oh, and then we also need to start turning on hull repairs. Right. Oh, yeah, okay. So you go mine that stuff. Wait, what was that ship's name? The Schwarzenegger. I've never noticed that name of a ship on here before. They have like a list of ship names that kind of get recycled through. I don't think I've ever had one named the Schwarzenegger before, which makes me wonder, did they update the game? Maybe I've just never noticed it. Amazing. Okay. Yeah, so we kind of have to wait for this stuff to finish out. What we should do is build another solar panel while we can. Oh yeah, we have just enough. And we have one more probe. We'll hold on to the probe. Well, no, we can, because what we're going to need is another point of interest. So now that we have our iron deposit, so go there.
A science ship team has completed a task.
All right. Yeah, I don't want you to give the 3 there because I want them all to go to this thing. A huge crevasse cuts through the ground where your home once stood. There's no trace of civilization. Scour the globe in search of survivors. Alright. Oof. Food production. Oh, yeah. So now that we're getting all these alloys, we can build more of these guys, and we have the workers for it, so build those 2, increase our food production. Alright, so what are our things here? Resolve the events there, feed 1,000 crew members, mine the iron, research the steel mill, or in the midst of it, resolve the event on Earth. Oh, resolve the event, the ghosts of the Earth Shinobi on the planetary system map. Yeah, so that's going to be this one. So when we're finished here, we will do that. And so we've discovered Venus. Alright. So we're mining up some iron. So we need to get the steel mill finished, but we don't have any science points. When they're done with the event here, they'll start collecting the science. I guess so we can speed it up a little bit, I guess. Let's see here. Yeah, so now our maximum hull points we can get is 850 instead of 1,000. So our maximum goes down with each chapter. Alright, good. So we're at 0 now for food production. So when we get this, it'll put us in the positive. Surprised this isn't done yet. Oh, there we go.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Alright, after a long search, we have found nothing but rubble. We've seen no signs of life, but not even a corpse. The lunicalism seems to have caused a series of events that precipitated the collapse of thermo-industrial civilization. The Earth has become a toxic and arid wasteland scoured by harsh winds, now more inhospitable than Mars. The only remnant of civilization we found was a fallen stele where the city of Washington once stood. Stuck in the crevasse, it had been sheltered from the wind. A prayer imploring divine forgiveness was engraved in gold on its surface. Alright, so now we're going to collect science.
Request awaits your attention.
Alright, what do they want here? Administrator, mission reports from the expedition to Earth are being discussed among the crew. The thought of having lost all loved ones left behind has destroyed morale for many of them. Yeah, you think everyone you knew and loved is now gone. The symptoms of this trauma have been collated under the medical designation Dead Earth Sickness. So a permanent -1 to stability. Alright, Administrator, to safeguard humanity, we must find survivors and increase the station's population. We do not have time to go through the classic reproductive cycle of your species. That's an interesting way to put it. The classic reproductive cycle. You know, the boom boom. Not to be confused with the booma that happened to the moon here. Adding new members to the Tycoon's crew will have a positive impact on morale. Cryonic stasis, a practice pioneered by Dolos, was in growing use even before we left the solar system. There's a very high likelihood that cryonic pods containing survivors await discovery. Yeah, so we need to find some cryonic pods, and that's how we increase our population and workforce. Alright, steel mill is done. So next... Yeah, we can't do these yet. Let's do the cryonic center, so we can get more people. And now we are going to build ourselves a steel mill right here. All right. Administrator, Sector 1 has almost reached its maximum structural load. With more infrastructure surely needed soon, a new sector will need to be unlocked. Originally, sectors were programmed to automatically unlock after completion of the mission to Proxima Centauri. With the change of the Tycoon's mission objective, this restriction could be bypassed by manually overriding gateway lock algorithms. Yeah, this is one we are not going to do. The Tycoon does not have the resources to undertake this modification. So we are going to unlock Sector 2 before we finish this chapter, but we are not in a place to do that yet. We're going to hold out as long as we can. Oh yeah, we can turn this back on now. Alright, so get this built. Oh yeah. what do we have going on here? Okay, so once, yeah, get the resources first. We could, you know, we could really use another ship. It's probably time to start building this docking bay so that we can get more ships going. Because we definitely need another mining ship and another cargo ship. It is always nice to have 2 science ships, but we'll hold off on it for now. Alright. So let's speed it up a little bit. Get things built, get things collected. Make sure our workers are doing well. So we're going to need 30 for this, 12 for that, so that's 42. Alright, yeah, so after that, we're going to start getting to our capacity. Now, actually, so this is a good opportunity. I'm going to bring up something. Oops. Why? It's very useful in this game. I think should be used. Let me... let's see. Yes, here we go. So let me pull it up on screen. There we go. So, something useful to have up while you play is this Ixion buildings on the Ixion wiki. So basically you just type in Google Ixion buildings, and then you'll get this. It's helpful because as you're planning out your sector, you can see what the internal footprint of each building is. Because in the game, unless you've discovered the building, it doesn't show you how many spaces it's going to take. And so this is a good way to plan ahead. So I always kind of have that up while I play. So you can see here, like here, so it shows you the steel mill 9x12, but unless you've discovered the building, you can't look it up in the game here. I mean, I guess unless you go to, like, don't they have like a Civlopedia, as I call everything in a game like this? No? Yeah, so there you go. Alright, so let's research something new. So we got the Cryonics Center. Let's do memorials. This is always a good one to have. We don't really need the battery yet. Oh, and we got to move our science ship. So, you move to the Urshinabi, because that's going to give us a bunch of food. Food is always a nice thing to have. Alright, so we have a steel mill. Problem is we just don't have any iron yet to use.
Up a Dolos emergency frequency, broadcasting from the facility Outer Hope. Dolos protocol dictates that in the event of a major systems failure, administrators must contact the nearest Dolos site immediately.
Yeah.
Outer Hope Station is likely to have both the materials and expertise required to repair the damage that the Vol engine has sustained.
So this was that station that we got the Naomi protocol from. It was rude and told us to go away. Alright, how are we doing here? Good. Alright, so we're about to get the docking bay. We can build another cargo ship and start collecting these resources a little bit quicker. So we can start getting...
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Alright. Our sensors have detected the Urshinabi. The ship is broken in two and is not transmitting any signals. The phrase, "whoever helps Dolos is an enemy of humanity," has been dubbed in large letters on the wreck of the Urshinabi. Mummified bodies have been attached to its hull. Alright. Now, we're going to need another stockpile soon once we start finding cryopods. We can also build a cryonics center. Oh, you know, I forgot. Now we're going to take a quick pause here. Put my notes on what I usually put there. I always get it kind of mixed up. So let's look at this again for a minute. Oh. You can still see me. Let's save this. Stream chapter 1. Just want to look up the notes on my floor plan here. And by notes I mean previous save I always have when I feel like the save I have on here. I was just like, oh, I love the floor plan I created in this, so I never save over it. In case I gotta go back and look at it. See what we're aiming towards. Yeah, this was it. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I remember now. Alright, so back to the game. So we're gonna put cryonics pod or cryonics center right here.
A science ship team has completed a task.
But we'll power it off for now. Let's go to that science one. The ship was full of food. I hope the expiration date hasn't passed. Everything is ready for extraction. So eventually we're going to move this away from here, put it down there. And what we're going to put down here, what kind of fits perfectly there, is, oh, well, we can't see that, the DLS listening thing. And we are now specialized. Can't really see it, though, until we get the DLS thing. So, that will be over there. Oh, this is done. Build us cargo. So you can start with that. And while we have tons of stuff, tons of polymers, let's build another solar array. Because as you can see, we're running low on power. So now that we'll have 2 cargo ships, one of these will be specialized in getting iron, while the other one will collect everything else.
No more resources available to mine.
Ooh, that's not good. Okay. So we've got a lot of iron. I suppose we can start collecting carbon. Yeah, look at this. Right close to us. Be very efficient. Oh, and our science ship is done, so you can go to Venus. I think we need now, yeah, we need to look for another point of interest.
A probe has completed its scan.
So now, yeah, we got a little bit of carbon there.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Alright. Probe data has revealed mining and industrial infrastructure below the surface of Venus. According to reports from the exploration team, the subterranean site consists of mining infrastructure and a large assembly line. Many embalmed bodies were found in the area. The line seems to have been originally used to fabricate solar sails. Tycoon engineers suggest that with minor repairs, it could be restarted. Yeah, let's restart it. Minfoire, you can do that since we're about to get a second one. So you finish building. All right. Righty. So we've got that. Alright, so we've got this next cargo ship, the Quicksilver. So you, first and foremost, are going to go collect us our iron. Everything else is secondary to iron. Bring me my iron. So we're doing okay on food, which is good. Alright, so we have memorials unlocked. So now let's get ourselves the battery. So once we research everything in this circle, it opens up the next circle, but also it allows us to start upgrading certain buildings. And the very first one you want to do is this assistant promotion in the tech lab, so that you can actually start gaining 3 science units every 5 cycles. What you start with is gaining 1 every 30 cycles, which is basically equivalent to gaining nothing. Alright, so now we can build these memorials. These are great because they add 1 to stability, and there's certain upgrades that'll give you more. But they don't require any power or workers. So they're great to build. But I do end up building it like in the middle of this here, so I don't know if I want to just like build it just yet. We are going to need two more stockpiles. 1 will be for carbon, and 1 will be for cryopods. And this will be great because it won't be far to take the cryopods to the cryonics center. So that'll be nice. That'll be really nice for us. Actually, we can now afford to build another mining ship. Oh, I forgot. I had turned off the auto build on this. Let's build another one of those guys. Alright, so you're gonna be carbon. So eventually we're gonna start collecting that carbon. Oh, you know, I forgot in terms of our levels of food, I forgot we're still collecting stuff from the Urshinabi. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. So you can turn off, because we haven't discovered any cryopods yet. That's what you will be. Ah, and now we're finally making our own alloys, which is good. Let me remind myself, where usually goes like here. See, problem is, see, this is why the Ixion buildings thing comes in handy. I forget the internal footprint of the alternative life center. Is that something we're going to need to build? It adds to stability. Let me look it up. Why am I not finding it? Yeah, 5 by 6. And so we're going to want to build it around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we need 7. Oh, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we could put it right here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Now, in this sector, it doesn't really matter which one of these you build. So we'll do the Lunaclism one. Put it right here. And it'll add 1 to stability for us. You, so you will handle carbon, silicon, everything else, while the Schwarzenegger does iron. Oh, alright. And now we can go to the science ship. The assembly line has been repaired. The machines belong to the UN and are clearly more advanced than our systems. They are fully automated, and our team has been able to use them to prepare a number of resources for extraction. During the repair process, an engineer discovered a number of inscriptions written by Elixies. He speaks of his time as administrator of Neptune's Hyperlux station, Thiaki, and expresses regret over the fate of the station's residents. He used the line to repair elements of his ship so that he could reach the headquarters of the Black Market Society. All names to keep in mind for this chapter. Alright. So now we'll be able to build, yeah, 2 more of these guys here. So we'll have wasted these 4 spots, but you know, that's fine. Oh, and we need a new point of interest. I'm slacking on the probes. Yeah, we'll go to this one next. Right. Alrighty, Roo. I guess we can speed it up a little bit here. Oh, actually, okay, so we're done at Venus. Yes, we gotta wait for the probe. Alright, so the battery is done. So let's do the alternative life center. Let's turn this on now, because eventually we're gonna get more of that. Ooh, that's gonna put us, though. No need to go into extra hours for that yet. Actually, what we could do is, I don't think, yeah, there's none of those out there. So we can turn this off for now. And we'll turn this on. Because eventually we're going to want to turn that on. That'll add workers, so we're kind of good with that. How much extra housing do we have now? 5. So we're going to finish out our housing block here. Alright. Oh, we got another another probe. And so now let's find ourselves, yes, more iron. So we need it to turn that like bright green. There we go. Oh, and we added in a little bit of water. Excellent. All right, so we're moving along well. All right, so we've now got food. That is always an issue. Oh, we might as well utilize all of these polymers we have and build up another solar panel. Yeah, so we'll do that. I said we weren't going to need that, but we do need it now. So send one of those down there. We'll wait till it gets over here, and then we can turn it off. We can probably turn it off now. I don't think the transporter cares if the building is on, but we did it. There we go. And now we can turn that guy on. So we still have a lot of iron to collect. Eventually we will build another science ship here, but it is going to take workers, and now we're getting to the point where workers are becoming just a little scarce. So now we're going to really start actually trying to be a little conservative with that. But,
A probe has completed its scan.
good. So now we can send the Darwin over here. We'll use the next probe to queue up our next point of interest. So now we've got quite a few ships zipping around the solar system. Alright. Oh, okay, so now that we have these guys, we can turn on the cryonic center. So it's putting us into extra hours, but that's okay, because what this is going to do is add workers. However, not every pod is a worker. Some are non-workers. So you gotta hope you get enough workers out of it. Now, after the Alternative Life Center, we'll research the polymer factory. We might end up building one over here, but we're kind of at a point now where we can start thinking about the second sector. See, I would like to build up a lot more alloys before we do that. The only reason why we're really down on alloys is because we're doing a lot of building right now. But I think we got most of what we need built, so we can kind of chill on building so that we can start stockpiling a few of that. We're going to need about 80 alloys. Yeah, 80 to open this up. The other thing is, yeah, it takes 40 workers. That's going to be quite a bit.
Awaits your attention.
Administrator, an accident has occurred in the following building, Insect Farm. Stanford NileClean projections indicate that poor working conditions and power overloads can cause accidents. You know, look at it. Did these three people publish a paper on that? Stanford NileClean, three people's projections indicate that if you don't have good working conditions and you overwork people, accidents can happen. Isn't that just like the epitome of like corporate America? How much money did these people get to write up a paper that says, yeah, if you give people shitty work conditions, bad things happen? All right, let me get off my soapbox here. Continue the game. It should also be taken into consideration that large buildings are more likely to have more serious accidents. Yeah, we'll fix it. So you just press this button and it'll get fixed.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
All right, good. So let's take a look at the debris field. We have verified the data several times and can confirm the existence of a vast debris field covering an area of several thousand kilometers. At the center of the field is a colossal artificial structure which, even in its ruined state, makes the Tycoon look like an insect. No signals have been detected. We have identified 3 areas for investigation. The core of the structure, a secondary structure that looks to be the remains of a destroyed loading dock, and a particularly dense area of the debris field close to the other 2 sites. We recommend the utmost caution be taken when approaching these areas. The floating debris will make navigation difficult and interfere with communications. The Darwin is holding station at the edge of the debris field. A route has been mapped through the areas identified for investigation. So this is another one of those that we can do all 3, so we'll just go down the list. Investigate the core of the structure. Discovered a new point of interest. How are we doing on drilling stuff? Let's get more carbon to drill. Can we get... yeah, there we go. Alright. What do we research? Yeah, the Alternative Life Center. Yeah, we need more science. Alright, let's speed it up here. Alright. Avoid accidents in the insect farm in Sector 1 for 2 cycles. So, when you have these ones in red, the idea here is if you complete this, you'll gain trust. So it's these promises that you can make. You don't always need to make the promise, but if you're in need of trust, you can use these promises to help you out.
A probe has completed its scan.
Alright. So now we've got some more carbon to collect. I suppose we could do our second science ship now, but...
A science ship team has completed a task.
Alright, first visuals reveal a huge damaged structure surrounded by arches that have detached from their central axis. These arches show extreme signs of deterioration. The structure is covered in traces of explosive residue, collision impacts, and scarring from unknown weaponry. After exploring the new areas of the structure that remain accessible, the team of the Darwin spotted a number of salvageable resources near a ruined assembly area. Further analysis is possible, but will take time. Alright, investigate the ruined assembly area. Yeah, you know, alright, let's just get our extra science ship. Now the one nice thing is you can store buildings in the ship and put a new building in here, so you can kind of create as many of these ships as you want. You just can only run 3 of them at a time from each docking bay. Alright, let's speed up. So, we need... so there's 4 injured, so we actually have 196 workers. So we need 13 more workers to not be in extra hours. Oh, and we got our little lunaclism thing. So everybody is happy. We're at +1. That's good. So let's discover another point of interest. Eventually we'll look for the next story one, the find a Dolo station with a probe. We'll probe the solar system for it. Alright, so far so good. So far so good. Let's save. Whenever you think things are okay, it's always the time to save. One nice thing about the game is if everything goes to hell, you can always restart the chapter. So it kind of always has a, like, auto-restore point there. But, you know, sometimes you get really far into the chapter, and so the idea of going back to the beginning of it is a bit daunting. Alright. Excellent. Let's find some silicon for us to start collecting. There we go. Can we get anything else in there? There we go. Boom. Get them both. I suppose we'll build...
A science ship team.
We might as well just...
completed a task.
Oh, wait, was I wrong? Okay. I was wrong. Hold on. I thought I had 4 spaces here. I have 3. Oh, yeah. So we can put a battery here. So we lose this space here. So would it have been better to build the Lunaclism 1 over? Not really. Yeah, that wouldn't have helped us. Okay, that's fine. So we have a couple wasted spaces there. It's not too bad. Oh, retrieved all the science. After examination, the Darwin's team concluded that the site was evacuated prior to its destruction, finding uniforms and equipment bearing the insignia of different organizations. It appears this facility was property of the UN. Strangely, a number of embalmed bodies were found in a secluded area. The team was unable to determine the cause or outcome of the conflict, but have managed to recover further resources. These have been packaged for extraction. Alright, investigate the loading dock. Ah, we got our next thing, the iceberg. So, what am I doing? Where's my controls here? Okay. Iceberg. Go to Mars. Okay. So you can be silicon when that comes. Oh, and I mean, so, and now, well, I said we were going to stockpile stuff, but we should get a battery built. Alright. After this battery, we're going to stockpile alloys. And let's look for the Outer Hope now. Yeah, so it's like somewhere up here. Oh my god. What's happening? Oh, there we go. Alright. Let's speed it up. There we go. So look at that. Workers are moving
The
up.
science ship has arrived at its destination.
All right.
A probe has completed its scan.
An old, disused complex named Richter's facility has been located on the surface of Mars. The derelict UN-owned facility is covered almost entirely by Martian sand. Existing Dolos clearance codes can be used to interact with the complex's systems. Caution is advised as the weight of the sand may exceed the structure's load-bearing capacity. So use our clearance codes. Alright. How much iron do we have? Oh, we got a lot. Okay. Yeah, we're good on iron right now.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Frozen human remains constitute the majority of the debris that surrounds the loading dock. Evidence suggests that the area experienced depressurization after a structural breach. The dock itself has been looted and partially dismantled. Several cairns have been left behind, arranged in helical shapes and erected using makeshift materials. The team did find a few resources, and these have been prepared for extraction. And the last one, survey the dense area. Alright, discovered a new point of interest. Yep, that's the one we're going to need.
A science ship team has completed a task.
So the codes briefly reactivated the base's defense systems. Due to the facility's state, they fortunately overloaded and are now offline. The team of the Iceberg did not suffer any losses. So this is one where we're not going to be able to do everything. But I do kind of forget what gives what. But you can kind of tell, like, the study center will probably give us science. The storage area will give us stuff. Let's go for science. All right. All right. So we actually have enough workers now. They're just, some of them are in the infirmary. But we're going to keep going because, you know, we want to get the next sector open.
A science ship team has completed a task.
All right, we managed to locate and erect a number of encrypted data files from the center's digital archive. During the final stages of extraction, our perimeter team discovered a wall on the verge of collapse. They warned us before it gave way and sand flooded the area. No one was seriously injured. Excellent, excellent. All right. So now we'll collect science from there. And we can continue researching. All right. Let's see. We're at 2 hours. So let's take a quick 60-second break. Go to the bathroom, get some more water. So, always with this game. Why do I keep doing that? All right. I will be right back. Alright, and we're back. Let's continue saving humanity, shall we? Alright. So let me refresh myself here. Any of our science ships need anything? No. So we have Outer Hope, but we should get another... find another point of interest, because they're both going to be done in a moment. We are, you know, okay. We really do need to get our polymer factory going. So we are running low on polymers. Oh, you know, I never switched this over.
An accident has occurred in the Tycoon.
Where? Oh, okay. Alright, so... the iceberg, you can go to Outer Hope. Yeah, I should save after every break. That would be the responsible thing to do. Okay, so we'll go to speed 2. Or maybe speed 3. Let's go to speed 3. Alright. We got a lot of people in the infirmary because of all these accidents. So we'll put this over there.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Alright, the wrecks of shuttles float everywhere. Most belong to the UN, though there were some bearing the acronym BMS. Despite many hazards and potential psychological impacts from the presence of human corpses, the Darwin's team was able to locate some salvageable resources. Alright, leave the debris field, so now we can collect the science there. Excellent, excellent. Alright. So, where are we at now? Where are we at? Okay, let's speed this up a little bit. Ah, ooh, we're out of housing. Alright. So for the time being, we'll put, we have the Alternative Life Center. Excellent. So we'll start building some houses right here. These will be temporary ones. And the Alternative Life Center. So we'll hold off on building it, because I keep saying we're going to stockpile some alloys so we can open the next sector, and then I keep building stuff. So let's hold off on that. Once we have 80 alloys built up, we'll open the sector. Yeah, because we have enough to spare for everything else.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Alright. Adolos emergency signals broadcasting from these coordinates. It originates from the research station Outer Hope. Outer Hope is surrounded by wreckage and debris from a past battle. Broken equipment and frozen bodies float around the station. The emergency signal is transmitting from inside. It's from inside the station. Alright, search the battlefield. What about our other science ship? What's that dude doing? Ah, okay, so the Darwin's done. So you can go to Saturn. Alright. Varieties. And speed things up a bit. Alright. So now we wait for this stuff. Yeah, so we still have plenty of iron to collect. We got a full battery, but it hasn't given us much.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Excellent. Let's look at it. A structure belonging to the Black Market Society has been discovered on Titan, Saturn's largest moon. Although severely damaged, the site seems to still be active. Surface scans indicate the BMS station extends deep below the surface of Titan. Further data is not available due to the site firing upon the Tycoon's probe as it approached. The Darwin is maintaining orbit around Titan at a safe distance. Let's make contact. Obviously, we're going to make contact. Alright, so look at this. So we're building up, building up. So let's get to 80. We're good with stability. Conditions are optimal. But we're going to keep opening these cryonic pods because we're about to open a second sector.
Has completed a task.
Alright, the battle seems to have been made up of multiple engagements, with debris from the conflicts mostly consisting of wrecked shuttles. Some of these destroyed ships bear the insignia of the UN, though the majority carried Dolos emblems. Sophisticated weapons systems were also identified among the wreckage, bearing the acronym BMS. The Iceberg's team was able to salvage some resources from the debris. Search outer hope. Search it.
A science ship team has completed a task.
All right, here we go. After receiving no response to communication attempts, the team landed the Darwin and advanced toward the complex. Security protocols in place. The defenses activated briefly and fired on the team. Fortunately, there seemed to have been little remaining power and they quickly shut down. Entering the complex, the team were attacked by strange animals. Recorded footage from the mission shows an emaciated simian amalgam. The team repelled the attack with improvised weapons, and the creatures retreated. Unfortunately, no samples could be recovered. Venturing further into the complex, unsettling works of art and esoteric writing were discovered. Although the station is still pressurized, progress was made difficult due to the lack of any artificial gravity. In addition, a giant fungus has spread throughout the complex, releasing huge volumes of spores into the local atmosphere. Within what appears to be the main entrance hall, a bronze statue of Marduk council member Giovanni Battista, that rude guy from the prologue who was eating while he was talking to us, has been erected. Inconsistencies in the reports from different members of the exploration team suggest that recorded information may not be entirely accurate. Any conclusions drawn must be discounted. Send them deeper in. What could possibly go wrong? Actually, not much, I think, will go wrong in that one, but... Alright. So now we can speed it up a little. Get this done. This next batch here. Ooh, okay.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Alright, Outer Hope. This is the other one that we're doing.
Administrator, A new request awaits your
Outer
attention.
Hope lies in ruins. Many embalmed bodies were found in the remains of the station, deliberately arranged in a spiral-like pattern. Great care and attention seem to have been paid to the bodies. So just as a recap, so this was the station in the prologue we went to that they were like, hey, get out of here. Nobody should know about this station. The Icebergs team traced the emergency broadcast and after clearing away several tons of debris, discovered a hidden room buried beneath the detritus. The room was sealed with an automatic lock that requested Tycoon identification codes. Upon entering the codes, a brief message flashed across the input screen. Truth is the story that best resists reality. Inside, the team found Outer Hope's black box, a number of resources, and a data log from Rabia Nayakand. It contained the following message. Administrator, you carry with you what the echo of the future allowed us to create. Self-similar space will reveal the pattern. The black box's data can be analyzed using the Tycoon's tech lab. Yeah, dismantle that base. I want resources. Administrator, we have received the data from Outer Hope's black box. Further analysis is required, and extraction protocols can be launched via the Tycoon's tech lab. Acknowledged. All right, so we're at 58. So I said we were going to wait till we get to 80, but let's override this now. Yeah, see, so the 40 workers are going to go over there, though. So luckily we built up quite a few workers. But yeah, now we're going to be at extra hours, so it's best if we can get this done quicker, or as quick as we can. We'll open this up so that they can send one over there. I wonder if we turn it off, will it still get there? Yeah.
An accident has occurred in the Tycoon.
Yeah, so now accidents are going to happen because everybody's overworked. Alright. So signed ships are working. What about resources? Alright, so we need to be mining still. We need more carbon. Is there any big deposit of carbon here? There we go, let's do that. Fairly close to home. So with those 40 gone in terms of housing, yeah. Well, we're going to end up having to transfer workers over there once that opens up anyway. Alright. So we're close. Alright, so we're at 42.
The science ship team has completed a task.
Venturing deeper within, the team of the Darwin reached a construction site, deserted and almost entirely frozen. Several possible storage areas have been identified, but are blocked by ice. The team could try to break through the ice or restart the station's heating systems in an attempt to thaw out the complex. In one of the storage areas, though, through the transparency of the ice, a preserved corpse can be seen. Well, since we're going through the story together here, and like I said, there's going to be spoilers, I can tell you right now, do not attempt to restart the station's heating systems. Just break through the ice. Danger lies ahead if you turn that heating system
Probe has
on.
completed its scan.
Do we need another point of interest? Yes, we do. Is there anything over here? So this thing is the point of interest meter, so we're trying to get that up. Oh, where is it taking us? Basically, we're just trying to find all the planets in the solar system. I guess that's Mercury
A
then.
science shift team has completed a task.
Which one? Oh yeah, Outer Hope. Outer Hope has been dismantled. Resources are ready for extraction. Alright, collect us some science. Oh! We're not researching anything. Alright, give us the polymer factory. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life here? Alright. Okay, excellent. Well, let's speed it up. We're at 54, we need to get to 80. And then it'll open. Yeah, our new point of interest, Mercury. And we should do another one, because both of them are about to finish at their point of interest. Okay, so the iceberg is ready to move. Oh, there it is, Mercury, yeah. So you can go there, and then, excellent, when this guy's done, you can go to that one over there. Alright, moving right along.
A science shift team has completed a task.
Alright. The Darwin's team recovered a number of valuable resources. Via biometric data sampling, they identified the preserved corpse as that of Elixes, administrator of Neptune's Hyperlux station Thiaki. The body was found with a handwritten letter of farewell and apology to the inhabitants of the Thiaki station and appears to be unfinished. Dun dun dun! Oh, good. Okay. Let's do the Outer Hope black box, and then we'll get back to Electronics Factory and all that. Now, yeah, so we won't build the polymer factory here. This, yes.
A new request awaits
Here
your
we go.
attention.
Administrator, a new sector has successfully been unlocked. This is an historic moment for Dolos AEC and the Tycoon mission. Trust rises. So here's our new sector. Alright, so let's pause for a moment. So like we did before, we're going to have a road going this way. We're going to put the workshop right here. We can put the first resource thing right here. And then we'll build a road going this way. We'll connect these guys. Alright, so do your thing. We are gonna need, so this is where we're gonna put the, what do you call it? this is where we're going to put housing. Okay, so we got to build some other stuff before we do that. This will be the food one. So let's collect this. And because I want to put the mess hall right here. Alright. Yeah, so now hull integrity will start going down a little bit more, but we'll be fine for now. Alright, so which one is that? The Darwin. You're done. So now you can go there. Let's get our next point of interest uncovered, which will be somewhere around here. Well, not quite the next one I want, but whatever. Alright. So the iceberg is done. So you'll go to this one once it's uncovered. Yes. Okay, so you take that. You take that. Alright, get rid of that. And now put our mess hall right there. And then build the road going down here. Okay. Now you can start building housing, so yeah, this is where the second house will go.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Neptune. Alright. Our communication systems have detected faint signals transmitting from what appears to be an old luxury station on Triton. Transmission analysis pulled a few data fragments encoded within the signals. They mention public disorder, food supply problems, and frequently reference the name Elixies. Theaki Station has been almost entirely dismantled. The few areas left suggest that those who lived here were swimming in opulence. The place is huge. We have found a sealed room protected by heavily armored blast doors. Dents in the door's metal suggests that others have unsuccessfully tried to gain entry. Othman Bergman recommends the use of explosives. Given the state of the station, I myself think it is a bad idea. So I actually forget what's best to do here. Oh, that's right. No, we got Elixi's biometric data. Yeah, that's why we did that. So we'll do that. Alright, so the I meant to say asteroid belt. And instead, I just said the first part. Alright, so the iceberg can go over there. Alright. So build that. Oh. Let's build a road going here. Alright, so now we need to make sure that food is going to be transferred over there. So so just always have 10 there, and always keep 50 here. And I'll figure out the rest of it later. Let's get rid of that road, build us Another one of these. Oh yeah, and we need an infirmary. I forget where do I want to place that one. So, well, okay, so now we can kind of map it out here, because at the bottom here, we're gonna put, let's pause for a second. We're gonna put 2 steel mills. So we're not going to build the second one yet. But we are going to start yeah, we are going to start building this one. Build the road going here. Now I also want to start food production.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Alright. We have detected a signal broadcasting on a Dolos frequency. It originates from a mineral extraction station named the Stanford Facility. We theorize that the Stanford facility will contain many materials useful to the Tycoon and its crew. However, in order to recover them, we will need to dismantle elements of the structure to gain entrance. A control center has been identified, but it is sealed off by a shutter with a UN emblem stenciled over it. A message has been written beneath the emblem in an unknown language. We've no idea what it says, but it's accompanied by a helical-shaped symbol. Alright, so dismantle part of it. Alright, I think we only have like one more point of interest in this system. Alright, we do need another one of these guys. Oh, we need to start connecting some of this stuff. Oh, we got something here. Administrator, the black box's data has provided some useful information. A Dolos facility has been located, hidden in the atmosphere of Jupiter. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot about this. Officially designated Hephaestus. The site was used to develop a new type of Vol engine. It also accommodated the construction of a Taurus-class superstructure known to Dolos as the Protagoras. This iteration on the Tycoon was sent on a mission to seek out the habitable exoplanet Remus, where the last survivors of Earth could establish a new home. Despite the damage done to Outer Hope, the station was still able to later receive a distress signal from the Protagoras with Vol jump coordinates encoded, indicating the ship's last presumed location. Alright, so now let's do the electronics factory and finish out this ring of tech. Alrighty. Oh yeah, so you Could be iron. We'll turn you off for right now, though, because we don't have any here. Oh, Sector 1. Well, we're going to move
A science shift team has
people.
completed a task.
The room security systems were designed to read biometric data. The doors were set only to open for elixirs. Inside the room are large quantities of resources necessary for the survival of the station's residents. This security protocol may have been put in place in anticipation of a staff revolt. Alright. Oh, good. You're right next to it there. Iceberg, you can go to Jupiter next. Oh, how are we on iron? Okay, we got plenty to collect. Ooh, here we go. Let's start collecting. Who's done? Darwin. So Darwin, you can go to Uranus. Or as we all know, it's really called Uranus. Let's be honest here.
A science shift team has completed
You can't
a task.
rebrand Uranus. And you can quote me on that one. Matching the character of MARTA Councilmember Philip Stanford, meticulously organized resource packets were found in the facility storage area. They've been prepared for extraction. Excellent. Oh yeah, okay. We need to figure out where we're gonna put our infirmary. Forget where the best spot is. That leaves us what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What if we do it this way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know what's best. Kind of forgot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, I could put a couple batteries right there. Yeah, we'll do that. So we'll put this right here. And you could be this. Alright. So just collect away. Okay, so we'll have this start turned off because we'll try to transfer people over very quickly, very efficiently. Let's start transferring over some of this stuff. Oh, and somebody was done researching, right? Yeah, so you go to Jupiter. Do we need any more resources? Alright, yeah. Let's, well, of course we need more resources. How much more can we collect? Ooh, are we out of carbon in this system? Yikesies. That's a scary oh, something pinged there. Maybe not. There we go. Alright, yeah, go get some more carbon. Alright.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Alright. The coordinates recovered from the black box of Outer Hope have allowed us to successfully locate the Hephaestus construction facility on Jupiter. Using the encrypted channels and Dolos communication protocols found on Outer Hope to access the Hephaestus site seems to have woken the resident PA diagnostics, the PA. Diagnostics reveal that prior to the failure of the site's data archiving systems, the facility had been inactive for several decades. Strangely, the industrial zone is currently powered and operational. Whoa. What do you know? Okay. Alright, I'm going to stop collecting stuff here because I really need you guys to start collecting there. And how are we on workers here? Okay. Yeah, I really need this to be collected so that I can build more houses.
An accident has occurred in the Tycoon. A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Alright. Our instruments have recorded abnormal thermal activity at Uranus. At this distance, we are unable to deduce its nature or source. Control, are you receiving us? We found a tree. It seems impossible in such an environment. I've never seen anything like it. It's breathtaking. The tree sheds its leaves quite rapidly, but they reform almost instantly, crystallizing from the branches. The root structure appears to sink deep into the planet. I hope you are receiving our images, as this feels like a fever dream. So let's carry out some ecological analysis, and then we'll cut down the tree. So every now and then we'll get these options because we have the Naomi protocol. So that's what we got from going to Outer Hope in the prologue. So now we have the ability to do that. Alright. Come on, collect this thing already. Ah, nice. Okay. So now we've opened up...
New upgrades are available for research.
So the very first thing you always want to do once you unlock this is the Tech Lab one. So you can get 3 units of science every 5 cycles. Oh, that's why. Okay, so stop harvesting this. And do this. Alright. Excellent. There we go. Now, build me more houses. So what is our housing here? Okay. So 40, we're gonna need 30 more, so 70. Right now we have 30, 60, and then...
A science ship team has completed a task.
After analysis of various samples, the tree appears to be almost entirely edible. Its roots, leaves, and fruit can all be eaten. RNA sampling suggests that the tree is the result of extensive bioengineering experimentation. It is unknown how it was germinated here, or who is responsible for this feat. Yeah, harvest the edible elements before we cut it down.
science ship team has completed a task.
We have reached the automated construction site, which, despite its age, is still in good working condition. Although the Dolos technology here is recognizable, it is much more advanced than we have on board the Tycoon. In the control room for the site, we came across a mausoleum dedicated to Lyra Fraus. The resident PA identified us as Dolos personnel and granted access to data records. These confirm that the Hephaestus site was used to construct and house an advanced prototype of the Vol engine, codenamed Ixion. Dun dun dun! An engine of this type is currently moored to an EKP structure with a harness link. Our engineers say one of our mining ships could tow this. Attaching the Ixion engine to the Tycoon will restore our Vol jump capabilities. Alright. Schwarzenegger standing by? Well, then you can go do that. Alright. Wait, so what does it need? No, not this one. Oh, yeah. So it's just going to do something there. It doesn't need resources. Alright, alright. Alright, so let's build that housing. Let's transfer 30 workers from Sector 1 to Sector 2. Okay, so we can do more research. So now what we need is the DLS center. We absolutely need that. Speed up here.
Population transfer complete.
Excellent. So now let's turn that on, and we can dismantle that one. And now all the iron can go to Sector 2. Oh. And let's turn that on. Yeah. God. Well, let's see. I would like to have that. So let's transfer another 10 workers from Sector 1 to Sector 2. And let's build more food, because we're going to need it. And now we do need to start thinking about eventually where we're going to put the polymer factory. Oh, that fits kind of nicely right there.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Let's make sure these roads are connected. Alright, the Darwin's team has prepared resources for extraction. Now cut that tree down. Alright, good. So now
Population
I want you to
transfer
keep
complete.
20 here. I want you to keep like 40 there. Alright. Oh, so now let's start sending people over there. And that's how we do that. That's how you do it. Oh, and let's make sure we're sending enough food. Yeah, we are. Okay, so now... get rid of these roads here. Alright, so we'll put this here. But we'll pause construction of it, so we don't want to do it yet. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Yeah, so that leaves us a good little bit of building area. Oh, you know, we are going to need batteries, actually, now that I think about it. So we could do that. Yeah, we're going to need to move the Tycoon to Jupiter. So we're going to need 2.3 cycles worth of batteries. So we're also going to need to build batteries here. So now we can get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. And we're not going to build it, but we're going to need another EVA airlock eventually. Now in terms of batteries, what do we got? 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. And that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, where is the best place to... Oh yeah, so we never put this anywhere. Could do this. What's the... let me remind myself what how big the DLS is. The DLS is 5 by 7. So we want... So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. So it's going to go flush on there. So we could put... we could put a road right there.
A science ship team has completed a
Oops.
task.
I don't want to do that. Yeah, or we could just like
No
put it like
more
that.
resources available to mine.
So what is the best way here? Because if we put a road right here, that'll leave us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 by 6. Yeah, that's not bad.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Alright, so let's pause that construction also. Put our road right there. Just give us a good access, and that leaves us a little bit to build right there. And then we got this whole area right here. So okay, so let me catch up on So what's going on Jupiter? Oh, let's do Uranus first. Uranus, sorry. When the tree fell, a plaque was revealed that had been buried beneath its roots. The tree was a collaboration between Henry Bajaville, the Frenchiest man that ever did French, and Rabia Nayokan when they joined the Ashtangites. They offered their creation to humanity, hoping that it would erase some of the debt created by the atrocities of Dolos, aka blowing up the moon. The Darwin's team felled the tree and have prepared the resulting resources for extraction. And Jupiter? The extraction procedure was a success. Hephaestus's PA helped us a lot during the operation. She may try to contact the Tycoon directly. May we follow the self-similar pattern. Yeah, so now we need to get there. Whew, all right. I think we're at a good stopping point. We're almost near the end of Chapter 1, so we got the prologue and almost all of Chapter 1 done. We've opened up our second sector. This is going to be our industrial sector. And that's moving along. We've already got one, I always forget the names, steel mill built here. So we're doing good. All right, so that'll be it for today. So like I said, I'm going to do this as a series. So every Wednesday afternoon, I'm going to continue this run until we get to the end and see that alternate ending. I will be back on tonight with some more Victoria 3. So hopefully I will see you then. Anybody who's watching and enjoyed this, please think about giving me a follow so that you get notified when I'm on again. Other than that, have a good rest of your day. And as always, be awesome. Bye-bye. Of course. I had to finish the stream by doing that. Every single time today I've done that. All right. Goodbye.